A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to SSVM EduTalk. I'm Srisha, Director of Education at SSVM Institutions, and I will be interviewing our speaker. This is SSVM EduTalk's second episode, and we have CA Rajendra Kumar sir with us today. A very important person, a very important person who has accomplished remarkable deeds in various ways in the field of economics. And I'm very sure our commerce learning community of SSVM here, we've all gathered virtually this morning, will leave this session with a lot of inspiration and aspiration. So let me introduce our speaker for the day, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, who is currently the chairman of GST and Indirect Taxes Committee. He is also a chartered accountant in practice. He is a commerce graduate from University of Madras, and he also did his graduation from AM Jain College, Chennai. He's presently elected Central Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, New Delhi, for the term 2019 to 2022. Sir has served in leadership roles and as an expert in countless government organizations. And I have, to be very frank, I have mentioned a few of his accomplishments from his really long list of achievements. So your career is just very impeccable with brilliant achievements in your field, and it's really an honor to have you in this session with the SSVM family here. And it's a very challenging time for all of us around the globe, and I must really thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, without any further ado, shall we begin with the first question?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, did you ever imagine yourself to be in the field of accounting and finance? What made you choose this field? And there are many students who are very uncertain about entering this field, and your journey would really inspire them to create a career vision.
See, up to your class 10, you are forced to study the subjects as per the curriculum. So I was forced to study chemistry, biology, physics, history, geography, and all those subjects which are there in the curriculum. You don't have a choice. You can't say that, no, I will not write chemistry paper, I will not write physics paper, I will not, biology doesn't go into my head at all. You can't tell. You don't have a choice up to your class 10. But once you complete your class 10, you do have a choice. In those days, that is when I completed my school in 1987, I completed my school, and in 1985, I wrote my 10th standard paper. We didn't have much of choice also then. The computers were allowed to be used only by mathematics students. So none other can use computer. So only if you knew maths, you can go to computer. It is not there today like that. So I somehow was not in terms with physics or chemistry or biology, etc. And during the course of our discussion, I'll tell you how I got into this commerce, economics, accountancy group in school 10. Because I again had no choice. I had to do this only. And then whatever you are asked to do, you should do it nicely. That's it. So I never knew that what is accounting, what is commerce, what is economics. I just got into in the school and then started it off.
That's great. It's amazing. It's just surprising how things were so different during the times, and right now we have every person has access to technology and everything. But yeah, it's just so different. So thank you for answering that. And sir, in every profession, we tend to have an ikigai. And for the students, if you don't know what ikigai is, it means a reason to wake up every morning. So could you share what your ikigai is and what drives you?
Uh, See, I am going to tell you something very, very important, which will shock many of you, almost our students also. And I wrote my CBSE examinations, 1985. English, Hindi, biology, that is science, social sciences, history, geography, biology, physics, chemistry, science paper, and then mathematics. We had these 5 papers. Board examinations, I failed in one paper,
Wow.
and that is mathematics paper. So I got only 27 marks in my mathematics paper in CBSE 10th standard examinations. Can you believe it?
It's really not. We cannot believe
And
it.
today I find schools sending out students who are getting 80 percentage. No, no, you got only 80%, so you are not fit for our school. You go to another school. So whenever any school I go, I tell them it is not a great thing to train a student with 90-95 percentage and then make him big. No, it is that student who has not succeeded. You should sow the seeds of success in that student. And my school did it. I studied in Stein Velangani Senior Secondary School. It is still there in Chennai. Very recently, they gave me a Distinguished Alumni Award also. So they didn't send me out of the school. And because I studied in the same school from LKG onwards, they never send me out of the school. No, no, you have failed in 10th standard. You are fit for nothing. Get out. And that's it. That's the end of your life. No. They said, okay, doesn't matter. You write improvement examinations you write, and we will give you only commerce group. Because how can I get maths, physics, chemistry? Nothing. I don't want. We no one give you. They said, we'll give you commerce, accountancy, and economics group. That is a good fit for you. You study. And I wrote my improvement also. Of course, there was never a break. So like 10th standard, next I joined 11th as the school reopened. So there was no break at all. In improvement examinations, I got 34. CBSE 33 is pass mark. 34 mark I got. I think they put me pass mark. I would not have passed that paper also. That's because maths has never been my strength even today. Let me tell you. And then in class 11, I had a wonderful teachers who taught women, who taught very humorously the subjects of economics, commerce, and accountancy. My commerce and accountancy teacher, I am still in touch with him today, even to this date. I am 50 now. He must be 75 to 80. To this day, I talk to him at least monthly once or twice. And he is the person who made me fall in love with this subject. So, and the manner in which he knew that I have a person who has failed in my 10th standard. I am here in my 11th class. And in the first examination that I wrote in my 11th in my school, I stood ninth in the class. Ninth. Because I never took mathematics. I said, no, no more mathematics in life. Forget about it. So today, even they say no mathematics paper should be there in BCom and nothing like that. It's a different story that, and so you ask me what it is positivity. Never mind failures. They'll come and go. Every day morning you get up and say this day will be a good day. Yesterday was may not be good, but everything will be good. And in fact, Akbar, one of the emperors of India, asked Birbal, is one of the ministers, explain in one line. Explain in one line which tells everything. Good, bad, good times, bad times. We tell about that. Birbal said, This too shall pass. இதுவும் கடந்து போகும். That is it. Thank you.
Oh, very true. That was just an amazing answer, and we really cannot believe. And I think you have inspired us by that, fact that failure doesn't define who you are, but it's a learning step always. And like you mentioned, I think the teachers who inspire us, who really make it very interesting, make the lessons very interesting, and give us a holistic learning experiences where we actually get inspired by them and choose our career as well.
In fact, majority of your younger life you spend with teachers in school.
Exactly.
So, and you get a fine teacher, they can really make your life wonderful. They can change you as a person. That imprint that they leave when you're in school, no, that stays for life.
Exactly. That's very, very true. That's very true. Sir, when I studied your profile meticulously, there were a profound number of progressions you have made in your career. Could you share the different positions you took up and how you make decisions at every juncture?
Very typical question you're asking me. See, I always had that, or even today have the desire to excel in whatever I like to do. And I'm very clear. If I don't know something, I would say I don't know. I'm very clear. See, we should have that courage to say no, I don't know. Even to my office assistant, the office boy who is there, and I'll tell him no, I don't know this. You please teach me. If possible, I will learn, and I would never interfere in the other person's work. Leave the work to other person and just keep quiet. In fact, from the school days, I have been taking up leadership positions. I was the president of my school in class 12. That's a failed student, finally becoming the president of the school in class 12. And then I was in many of the organizations in the school, like the Interact Club and so on. And then, yes, college also came, and then all these things came. I joined some of the charity organizations also. But then in my Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I did contest the elections. I won, I lost, I won. And then I became the chairman of the Southern Region of the Institute. Then I'm in the governing council now of the Institute's national body, etc. So what I would tell the students is always look out for those opportunities which will help you to generate interest within yourself to do something. Each and every one of you is capable. Each and every one of you is capable. God has made 5 fingers. Look at them. They are not equal. Equality is deformity. There is nothing called as an equal world. So everyone has some capabilities and everyone has some deficiency. It is not that I'm 100% perfect. No, never look for 100% perfection. It is a myth. 100% perfection is a myth. No one can get all the 5 subjects 100, 100, and 500 or 500. No, at least 1 mark will be less. It has to be. Only then improvement begins. So always look out for those leadership opportunities. Involve yourself. And with dedication, you do whatever you are doing. Even if you're sweeping the floor, do it with dedication. See that there's no dust on the floor. Not because anyone else would see, because you are looking at it. You are doing that work. If you're reading a question, please read it fully. I have found students, sir, this 500-page book, sir, how am I going to read? Whatever you read it thoroughly, that's all. Likewise, whatever you do it thoroughly, have patience, and ensure that you're fully dedicated. That's it. That's all. See, if you're naturally a student who gets class first and top ranks, you will get it. And if you're a student who is not class first, aim for pass mark. I always tell my son, I don't want you to get rank. I want you to pass. That's all. If you are eligible, if you work hard, you might get rank. Pass that, because I never got any rank in my life. No first rank, no second rank, no third rank. Pass. That is first. First is pass. Successful. And then success will follow depending on your abilities, your strength, and identify what is your weakness. Identify it. If possible, work on that. Otherwise, you can engage someone else who is better than you in that particular work or in that particular strength, which is not yours. Thank you.
Very, very, I think it was very well said. Thank you for that, sir. I think we need to really give our best into everything that we do. And like you said, we have to thoroughly do whatever work we do. And that's one way, we can stay dedicated and follow perseverance. So that's something we can learn from you in the various achievements that you've done. I think that was your formula, right? So moving on to the next question. Um, Digitalization has been fast-tracked during COVID-19, and we all know that. And these days, anyone can file their tax returns online, applying for PAN numbers or other certifications too can happen online. So maybe even a decade ago, we would have had to do everything on paper with the help of an auditor. But all such activities are now made super easy. And but is there a huge gap between skilled accountants from your time and the new accounting graduates in today's world?
Very good question, I would say. Rather, what is the difference between accountants of my times and accountants who is now? But I don't consider myself very old that it is my time. This is also my time. First, I would say. So, I mean, I again, I'm not very good in handling technology or computer because I never had an opportunity those days. But then, as things move, and as you move forward, and so many new developments happen, you need to adapt to that. You need to adapt to that situation. So Tiruvallur very nicely said, change alone is permanent in this world. எவ்வது உறைவது உலகம் உலகத்தோடு அவ்வது உறைவது அறிவு. You must adapt to the change. Yes, those days it was papers, it was books, manual trial balances were there. There was no calculators also. Today students are allowed to use calculators after maybe school, maybe not in school. So, I mean, it is not that something more powerful than the human brain. Everything is creation of human brain. We have traveled from a paper world to a lesser paper world, I would say. I would not say that paperless world, lesser paper world. Yes, procedural aspects can be computerized, it can be, everything can be in virtual mode, but not the human thinking and human intellect. You would still need accountants to make laws. You would still need accountant to plan. You will still need accountants to interpret. Why accountants? Any professional for that matter, a lawyer. Today, there are so many information available in Google if you fall sick. But then you go to a doctor, isn't it? It is not that you rely only on Google and take the medicine. I'll be fine. Nothing will happen to me. No, you will still go to a doctor. So whatever, virtual world it is, whatever computerization happens, how much ever things go online, you'll still need a person to advise you whether what I'm doing is correct. Thank you.
That's very true, sir. Very rightly said. And what you said actually applies not just for the accounting field and to all the industries actually, and there is only to a certain extent we can humanize technology. And so at every step, there should be human involvement, thinking, and interaction happening. So it definitely applies for all the fields. So thank you so much for that. And sir, do you feel that current graduate students who are from accounting and finance um, are effective at what they do, or do you feel they lack any key skills or experiences that future students, like ones who are here with us today, can proactively learn in order to be more competitive?
Yeah, it's again a very good question that you asked. See, the graduates that the universities churn out today are theoretical graduates. So to become employable, they must skill themselves. Again, when I was in college, and those days again, we never had computers, we never had opportunity to skill ourselves. So we will go to college class, we'll study, we'll come back home, read, and then write the examination. That's it. But today, so many opportunities are available across. You can, learn computers, languages. You can learn the accounting packages which are there, and you can maybe in a free time you can go to an office of an accountant or anywhere you like, and part time you can learn. So, and many colleges today have this approach of sending their students to chartered accountants offices or law offices to ensure that they get at least some bit of practical training before they leave the college, before they complete the graduation. So, any person, any student who is undergoing a graduation course, naturally it is not a full day class, isn't it? Like your school, you go in morning 8 o'clock, you come back by 4 o'clock, nothing like that. It's either 4 hours, 5 hours. Balance hours, what you do? You must approach any of the offices near you, any of the institutions near you, and get trained, get a practical training, see what is practically happening. So balance your theoretical as well as practical training, and then whatever you have studied will be meaningful. You'll be able to apply what you're studying to the practical situations. Thank you.
Very well said, sir. Definitely. We need to also, like you said, we have to always try and equip ourselves with those skills as and when we're doing the things to keep us on track with our passion. So that's amazing. And I did read in an article that CAs in the new era have to go beyond their the traditional roles, and deliver much more than just being an accountant or auditor or and a financial analyst. So there are a variety of positions available after they graduate. And these changing roles, like let it be financial modeling, risk management, planning strategies, forensic accounting, have all created an increasing demand for this for the accounting professionals. So, and we know that ICAI has made a recent revision in the syllabus for CAs, for the CA exam, to prepare the graduates to cope with these changing roles. So, could you throw some light on these changing roles in the field and the revised syllabus for CA?
See, the conventional subjects like accounting, auditing, taxation will always be there because that is the foundation, that is the base. That is the base, that is the foundation. And if you and wherever there is a strong foundation, I think the structure is going to be superstructure. Let me tell you. With respect to the chartered accountants' domain knowledge of again taxation, accounting, and auditing. Chartered accountants may not be known as an economist, but then they are connected to economy. So in today's times, a chartered accountant must possess knowledge on economy also. He is expected to be an economist also. Rather, I would say a chartered accountant today is a holistic business advisor. That is how he is looked at by his clients, by the organization where he is working. He's expected to know, I mean, more than what he knows. That the expectation is there in every person who meets him, who talks to him. So, I mean, the domain knowledge will always help him. I mean, I mean, today people call me as an expert on consumption taxes, which is also known as GST in India. But then people have not spoken to me. They think that I'm a chartered accountant. I know everything. No. Slowly you can expertise on certain areas which are your strength, which you feel that you can really excel. So there are so many opportunities available. You can be a general medical practitioner, you just normal things you can see, and then you can be a heart surgeon, you can be a neurologist, you can be a gynecologist, etc. Likewise, a chartered accountant today can expertise on certain areas: international taxation, direct taxation, litigation, and then consumption taxes, which I am practicing, or maybe an auditor, core audit practice. So many opportunities and areas available in which you can excel, in which you can maybe involve and work and try to gain expertise as you grow in your profession, as you rise up in whatever you are trying to aspire for. Thank you.
It's amazing, sir. I think definitely we've learned about various roles that are available. I don't know if there were so many positions, different kinds of positions that were available even 10 years ago. But maybe because of all the, do you think it's because of the evolution in technology that we have so many roles available?
Yes, technology has played a major role in shaping the chartered accountants' belief that they can be fit into any type of organization structure in anywhere in an organization. But I would say a person with a chartered accountancy background, he's best suited in a computerized environment. There are people who write software, but then to support them, to help them to ensure that whatever they write is what is expected as a result. Chartered accountants play a major role. But the organization's structuring, the organization streamlining, I think the CAs have a major role to play. And then the technological developments that have happened today, they have helped a chartered accountant, as a catalyst in their growth and development. Thank you.
Very true. Thank you, sir. And I think we're diverting a little to the COVID-19 scenario right now. So the question is, COVID-19 has had a tremendous negative impact on our economic activities, driving all our industries to a standstill the past few months. And the government has been so empathetic and supportive by announcing relief measures for addressing economic challenges faced as a result of this pandemic. Sir, how do you feel we can revive the economy, and will liberalizing taxation measures help the economy?
First thing is, I would like to commend the government of this country, all layers of the government, whoever they may be, for their very positive approach that they have adopted towards controlling the pandemic. See, today, the first and foremost that the country requires is controlling this pandemic, considering the size of the Indian population. The It must not go out of hand. Then there'll be catastrophic results. But that the government has done. And liberalizing the tax structures, yes, whatever that is possible by the government has done, and it continues to do also. It's a commendable job, let me tell you. And India is very difficult country, madam. Let me tell you, very difficult country to administer. India is not a country. India is a world. In fact, if you want to travel, if you like traveling, which all of us like also, and you will do after this pandemic, I would advise to travel to India first. Look at India: agriculture, rivers, lakes, oceans, snow, desert, wildlife, forest. So many different languages, different type of food, different religions, and mode and method of worship, believers, non-believers. Everything that you want to see in the world is available in our country, that is India. It is world, I would say. So one of the most difficult countries to administer. And still, it is still a challenge, and government is doing that. And yes, reviving the economy, I would only say this time also will pass. Idhum kadandu pogum. We have to be confident. Yes, we have to be alert. We have to be agile. We have to be confident. And if the government says stay at home, wear a mask, I have to do that. So I'm staying at home. And if going out, we wear a mask. That's it. Thank you.
That was incredible. Thank you for that, sir. And just as we are into the session, we have a couple of questions from the students and the staff as well.
Yeah.
So one of them is, with so many strategies followed to avoid GST, especially the smaller companies with less than 50 crores and money diverted to personal accounts, cash payments, how do you ensure compliance? And what strategies do you propose to reduce avoidance of non-payment?
See, unlike your direct taxes mean income tax. Consumption taxes always promote voluntary compliance across the world. In any country where consumption tax is in the form of GST or VAT, GST and VAT both are one and the same, only thing the name are different, that's it. Voluntary compliance is always promoted. It is the voluntary compliance which makes these legislations successful, because what makes them compliant is already built within the legislation itself. It is built within the law itself. Like for example, the key area to make GST voluntarily compliant law is the input tax credit, which is built in the law itself. What is input tax credit? Where a tax has already been paid by a person, paid by you, assume, and there is a liability, you need to pay an output tax. The tax that is already paid is allowed to be adjusted against the tax payable. So assume the tax payable is 10 rupees. And already you have paid 4 rupees to some X person by purchasing some inputs or by availing some services. The balance that you need to pay to the government is only 6 rupees. Thereby, you are made cost effective. You are competitive in the market by taking the input tax credit. Now, where you are trying to avoid, then ITC may not be available, you may not be competitive. And then there are provisions, stringent provisions like penalties, like levying of interest, late fees, etc. if you fail to comply, if there is a delay. So generally speaking, compliance of consumption taxes are voluntary in nature. The provisions to comply are built within the law itself. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. And we have another question. So, what do you feel is a remarkable ability or a unique job feature you have leading the Office of GST and Indirect Taxes?
No, see, in my institute's committee, the chairmanship of the GST and Indirect Taxes Committee, we support the government in terms of policy matters. We also ensure that the implementation of this law is smooth. We enhance knowledge share. We equip not only chartered accountants but also all the stakeholders in the latest development in the law. And I, as the chairman, ensure that this particular legislation, which was started from 1st July 2017, reaches every nook and corner of the country, and everyone is like we handhold everyone wherever required, wherever any requirement is there, and that's it. I do my job. That's it. As a chairman, whatever I have to do, I do that. Thank you.
That's very inspiring, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And as we're moving into the final leg of the session, we all know that you are an amazing singer as well. So, would it be possible to hear a few lines from you?
I am not an amazing singer, and all. Let me tell you, it is a hobby. It is my hobby. It is my hobby to sing, to listen to people, read books. There are so many, hobbies of mine which I cherish, and one is such thing is that music is something which I like very much, and it's a impromptu request that you have made. I was not ready for this. In fact, I would certainly tell all the students who are sitting here. Many of them will be here, and many of the staff also will be there here, including you. That whatever hobby that you like, please ensure that you cultivate that continuously. You develop on that also, because hobbies are something which generate that interest within you. They all rather they keep you alive always. They keep you active always. I'll certainly sing a song for you. Maybe allow me to think. But if there are some questions, I'll take before that.
Sure, sir, no worries. Even if it's just a couple of lines, we'll be just so
Sure, sure.
delighted.
I'll do that. But many other questions I can answer. I'll certainly. Because certainly, I'm not able to think something. Yes.
Sure, no. Um, so there's this one question about
Yes.
technology again. So the need for embracing new age digital technologies has been a huge learning curve during this lockdown. And so, do you think that the current situation will enable businesses to invest in tax technologies that will help them manage the tax filing process? That is e-invoice,
Yeah.
GST.
See, I never used computers, laptops, iPads to such a large extent that I have used in the last about 4 or 5 months. Never. My mobile phone, the Android phone in my hand used to be everything for me. More than that, I will never venture upon because I don't needed it actually at that point of time. So when you need something, when it becomes a need, a necessity, you try to learn. That's it. Yes, there will be technologies which will calculate the tax for you. There will be a software which will say we will, file will fill your return and will pay your taxes, etc. But then what you're doing is correct or not. You'll always need a professional. You always need a person to say, no, this column should not be filled like this. This column is not what you think it is. This is something different. No, you're not eligible for this tax deduction. So there may be tax sites which will help you to file a return. There may be tax sites which will advise you. There may be tax sites which will act as a consultant for you. But then whether that particular question that you're asking to that consultant or the tax site is what is whether actually is it that? How do you ensure that it is correct? How do you ensure that what you are doing is correct? So you will always need a chartered accountant, a professional to say, yes, this is correct. No, this is not correct. This is not what is expected in this particular provision of tax law. So howsoever or how many ever softwares may come, which will try to substitute the work of a professional, but still you will need a professional to advise you to take care of, as I said, you can find out what for this headache, what is my medicine? Okay. But then the headache continues, you have to go to a doctor, isn't it? So, technology, yes, it equips you, it arms you, but nothing can replace human brain.
Very true. Very well said, sir. So now maybe we can hear a couple of lines.
So no questions are there. And this is so all of a sudden, I'm not able to immediately. Just give me a moment. Let me just think. ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ உன் பேர சொல்லும் ரோசாப்பூ காற்றில் ஆடும் தனியா ஏன் பாட்டில் மட்டும் துணையா ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ மனசெல்லாம் பந்தலிட்டு மல்லிக்கொடியாக ஒன்ன விட்டேன் உசுருக்குள் கோயில் கட்டி ஒன்ன கொலுசாக மழை பெஞ்சாதானே மண் வாசம் ஒன்ன நினைச்சாலே பூவாசந்தான் மேல பூத்திருப்பேன் கையில் ரேக போல சேர்ந்திருப்பேன் ரோசாப்பூ சின்ன ரோசாப்பூ. Forgive me, I forgot certain words because all of a sudden you told me to do it.
It sounded so incredible, sir. This is amazing. You have
That's a hobby. That's a hobby. I never practice music. I just hear and sing. That's it. I am not any trained singer at all. Just a hobby.
Great talent to possess, and without even learning, like you were able to, be on tune. So that's so amazing. And from this, we can all learn that, with the hobbies that we all have, we should never leave them at any point, and we should always.
As you, if you have 2 minutes, I'll tell your students also that each age has a hobby. Each age, some hobbies can be permanent. When I was very, very young school student, I used to collect stamps. Of course, over these years that I have maybe lesson, but okay, sometimes I do collect stamps also, even to this date. That was a very deep hobby when I was in school. Of course, singing was there and it continues. Then reading books. Reading books is something today, of course, you can read books on a computer, you can read books on Kindle and all those. And of course, books are available for buying and printed books are there. So I would tell the students to kindly fall in love with reading books. You'll never be alone in life, let me tell you. Thank you.
That's a great message you just said. Actually, I always like to ask our speakers this question. What is that one message you would like to share to these young minds? And it'll be great if you could give us a punchline specifically.
Enjoy with passion.
Amazing. So this was just an incredible session, sir. We're just so honored. And I'm a commerce graduate myself, and I really wish I had someone as inspiring as you to speak with us during my school days, because now it makes me think that I might have even chosen accounting and finance over entrepreneurship if I had listened to you speak at that time. So, looking at how many things you can achieve in this field as well. So, I'm very sure our students here are inspired and have learned so much from you on various possibilities in accounting, finance, taxation, and many more for them to emerge successful in this new era. So thank you very much, sir, for gracing us with your presence on this Sunday morning. And thanks to all the students as well for joining us on this Sunday morning. And as sir said, the punchline is enjoy with passion. So that's incredible.
Thank you very much. And you're also doing a great job. Running an education institution is something of a great challenge, and especially in a country like India, with so many legislations, so many restrictions, so many government regulations. So running such a great institution and building up young minds and looking at them grow and looking at them being successful, and some of your old alumni coming back to the school, it's such a happy feeling. That is it's a great satisfactory feeling that you will get. So you also
Exactly.
continue with this great job, Madam Srisha, and others in the school, the principal, your father, Mohandoss, sir, everyone.
Thank
I visited your school, the park, I think a few years back. It's such a great institution, lovely infrastructure, and all the students are blessed to have this kind of an atmosphere to study and equip themselves and become greater citizens of this great nation. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.